A warm greetings to all. Welcome back to another video on our Java series. Previously, we have discussed about two pillars of OOPS, namely abstraction and inheritance. Now we'll be looking into the next two pillars of OOPS, that are encapsulation and polymorphism. I hope you guys remember this example. This is the same one that we have used for inheritance. We have these two classes, namely parent and child, and I have made my child class to inherit the properties and behaviors of my parent class. So this is the same example, and we will be using the same example here. The only difference being this new parameter money. So this is a parameter that I have introduced for my parent class, and I have initialized it with the value 2000. So just consider that this is the entire savings of my parent. All right. So previously, with the concept of inheritance that we have learned, what should happen here is that my child class should be able to inherit all the properties of my parent, right? Which means that my child will be able to inherit this money parameter as well, because it is a property of parent. So if I come here and try to access this money parameter, sys out c1 dot money, what happens? In the name of inheritance, my child class will be able to access the money parameter. You can see that the entire savings of my parent is reflected in the console, because due to inheritance, my child was being able to access that parameter. But do you really think that's how it works? Do you really think you will be able to take money from your parents, his entire savings, just like that? I don't think so. He won't be letting you do that, right? So what would he do? Instead of letting you do that, he know that, okay, in the name of inheritance, this child will be coming to him and taking his entire savings. So what he does is that he brilliantly will create a protective shield around his money parameter. And that protective shield is created using private keyword. Okay, he made his money parameter private so that nobody, when I say nobody, I mean no other classes can access this money parameter, not even in the name of inheritance. Which means that even though my child class is inheriting all the properties and behaviors of my parent, since my parent has created a protective shield around this money parameter using this private keyword, my child would no longer be able to access the money parameter. If he tried to do that, it will say that, okay, that field is not visible to the child class. He is not able to have access towards that money parameter. He can have access to all other public methods and default methods, but he cannot have access to the private methods or variables. And this is achieved using encapsulation. All right. So this process is called encapsulation. So encapsulation is a process by which a class creates a protective shield across its particular variable, so other classes won't have access to such variables. And this is done by using the keyword private, by making those variables or methods private. So we will be saying what this private keyword is. Basically, it's an access specifier, but we will be seeing in detail about that when we discuss about access specifiers and packages. All right. But for now, just know that by making it private, this money parameter can be accessed only within this parent class. Other than that, we cannot access it anywhere else. That is how this works. And this process is called encapsulation. With encapsulation, I am no longer able to access this money parameter from my parent. So what would I do? As a child, I will definitely have the capability to ask for money. Right. We all have the capability to ask for money. So the parent should lend us money. It is his private thing. So he should be having access to this money parameter entirely. He should decide whether or not to share it with others. He should decide whether or not he should be accepting it from others. Basically, he should be having complete control over this money parameter. As of now, he has restricted everybody from accessing this. So as a child, I have the power to ask for money. I have the capability to ask for money. Let me introduce that now. Ask money function. So this is my capability. I can ask for money. Okay, so when I ask for money, I should get the money. Now, how can my parent class give up this money to me? money being a private variable, how can you do that? So that is the question. And this can be done with the help of getters and setters in Java. Alright, so this can be done with the help of getters and setters. Getters and setters are nothing but normal methods in Java, normal public methods in Java. The process is simple. Here I am having a private variable, right? So nobody can access it. So how we can come around this process is by creating a public method. Let's say that public void get money function. So this is the method for getting the value of money parameter. This is the money parameter. So I have created a public method to transfer this value to whoever can attempt to call this get money function, which means that within this get money function I should be returning this money parameter. Alright, so this money is an integer value, so the return type here should be int. I hope you are getting this. So what I have done is basically I have created a separate method. Even you can create a non-public method. This public is also an access specifier. Basically all public methods and variables will be having access globally. Anybody can access it from anywhere. Okay, we will be seeing that in detail with examples when we talk about access specifiers and packages. For now, just know that everybody can access this method, which means that my child can access this method. Just like eat function and think function, my child can access this get money function. So basically what I have done is that I have created a separate method and I have transferred this value of money parameter with the help of this get money function. Now if my child want to have access to this returned value, all he have to do is that he have to make a call towards this public method, that is get money function. So get money function. So what happens here? If you look here towards this line number 25, you can observe that within the child class I have a method called ask money function, and within that I am making a call towards another function, that is get money function. So the control gets shifted towards the get money function within the parent class, which is basically a normal public method returning an integer value. So what is the integer value returned here? Return money. So whatever the value s for this money parameter, that will be returned by this get money function. So what is money parameter here? How is this defined? Money is equal to 2000. So we know that this money parameter is private, right? We know that this money parameter is private. But the thing is, I have told you that private variables are having a scope within the same class, which means that it can be accessed anywhere within the same class. And since this getMoney function is a method that has been defined within the same class, definitely he will be able to access the value of money parameter. And since this getMoney function is a public method, definitely this method can be accessed anywhere outside the class. So which basically means that by making use of this getMoney function, my child class will be able to access that value of money parameter. So this value of money parameter, that is 2000, will be returned by this getMoney function. And when my child class makes a call towards this getMoney function, what will be returned? That value 2000 will be returned. So that is the value returned here. So if I have to print it, I can print it here itself. Now instead of directly making a call towards the money parameter, here I am directly trying to access this money parameter c1.money, but since money is private, I won't be able to do that. Instead of that, what should you do? You should make use of a getter method. That is, you should just create a public method who is able to access that private variable and thereby returning the value of that private variable. So here I can just make a call towards the ask money function. Yeah, I am already printing it there, so I need not do that. All right. So now if I print this, yeah, you can observe the value 2000 in the console. So this is how you will be ideally getting money from your parent. Just because you have inherited his properties and behaviors, that doesn't mean that you can have access to all of his properties. There might be some properties that he is not completely willing to share with everyone. So what would he do? He would enforce encapsulation. That is, he will create a protective shield around such elements so that it is not accessible by everyone. All right. So by doing this, by enforcing encapsulation, what is happening now? Now he is having complete control over whoever can access it, right? By if I want to access it, I have to use a getter, provided that my class parent is having a getter defined. Maybe he could have not defined this getter for me. Then I wouldn't been able to access it, right? Or there's a setter method that you can use. Setter method is a method that is used for setting values to this money parameter. That is considered a scenario where you have to lend some money to your parent. So since this money parameter is private, you won't be able to directly modify the value of this money, right? So what should you do? You should use a public method. You should transport this value towards a public method, and that public method uh, will will transfer that value to the money parameter. That is the use of setter. And actually, you need not create this getter or the setter by yourself. Instead, what you can do is that you can go to this source, and there you can find this option for generating getters and setters. All right. So if you want to define getters and setters for a class, you need not do it manually. You can just go to the source option, and from there locate this generate getters and setters option. Once you select that, you can observe that you have options to generate getters and setters for all the variables defined for my parent class. So I am going ahead and selecting money parameter because that is private and I want getters and setters defined for them. I am going to generate it. Yeah, you can see the same method that I have created before has been generated. That is the getter. This is the getter. Getter can be used for getting value of a private variable. And this is a setter. Setters can be used for setting values to a private variable. You can try that by yourself, how to set a value. You can make use of the setter method to do the same. Alright, it's pretty straightforward. The thing is that since the value or the variable is private, you won't be able to access it directly. So you have to make use of getters and setters. So if this getter is not available, what would have happened? Here the policy is that the parent will be willing to take money from you, but he won't share it with you. So that is the thing here. Now he is having the complete control. If he want to allow the functionality to give money to you, then he could have given the getter, or else it won't be defined there. So it might function like a read only or write only manner, whatever. So the thing is that basically the thing is that with encapsulation, the complete control over certain parameters uh, rest within those classes. In our case, the complete control over this money parameter rests within this parent class. So that is the benefit of using encapsulation. It gives complete control over a class to whether or not to share its variables with other classes. That's it. So that's encapsulation. I hope the concept of encapsulation is clear to everyone. If you still have any doubts, please feel free to ask. Now our video is getting a bit lengthy, so I guess we can do polymorphism. That is our next pillar of hoops in the next video. Right? We can discuss about polymorphism in our next video. So with that, I guess we can conclude for this video. I hope you guys were able to understand and learn something new here. So that's it. We can meet in our next video where we'll be discussing about polymorphism. Thank you.